Morning, folks. Ann here. Welcome to my channel. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning, a Saturday morning, and I'm down at my local campground, Kroger Lake. And I'm going to get a good walk in today. I feel pretty good. I slept good. I've been up since about 5 in the morning. But, I feel rested. I slept pretty good. I only woke up like 2 or 3 times to go to the bathroom. I see there's people out getting ready to take their canoe out. But I want to get right into our discussion today, folks. And I want to talk about what exactly low carb is and what it is to me. Because low carb is different for everybody. You know, it's not one size fits all. We all know that we have people that are doing low carb, people that do the keto diet, people that are ketovores, and then the carnivore, which is all meat and eggs and bacon and beef. I'm staying up on the road. I think I could walk a little faster up here. But, and then, so everybody is different, folks. And I want to tell you what low carb means for me. Now, some folks count their carbs, but I don't count my carbs because I think I eat so few that I don't think it's necessary to keep track of that. You know, and but some people count their carbs and they're able to include certain things that I would not be able to. Not to feel my best, especially being a diabetic. So everybody's different and everybody has to go according to what makes them feel the best and what makes them the healthiest. So nobody is wrong. Nobody is wrong because they don't do a certain thing or eliminate a certain thing. You know, and you shouldn't have to explain that to anybody. You do what's best for you. But for me, folks, what low carb means is keeping my sugar under control. Now, I'm working on getting my numbers down. And, you know, I'm still around 150 early in the morning. But I have to remember to... Somebody's over at the dock. I guess they're checking the boats that go in. Now, I don't really want to go over here where the campers are. Some of them still can be sleeping, so I'm going to turn around. So, for me, staying low carb helps me with my blood sugar. Now, I know my numbers don't show that they're down very far, but I'm not having spikes or anything. So that's an important thing for me, folks. It helps me keep steady energy. And that's what I need. I wasn't having energy back when I was eating all the carbs. And now I'm getting the energy. And the low carb is what's doing it. And of course, the fewer cravings. We all know that our cravings go away. Those of us that are pretty much eliminating most carbs. So that's why I'm loving it. And that's why I'm doing my best to stick to it, folks. Now, the foods that I avoid breads and pastas, pastries and pastas, rice, sugars, anything that has... Oh, good morning. They scare me. I get like that. I didn't even see them coming. Some people eat the blueberries, and I used to eat blueberries. But I've even cut that out. I've cut out all fruits. I don't drink the juice, none of that. I won't even have an apple or an orange or not even a banana because I know there's a lot of sugar in that. And I know if I do, even if it doesn't spike my blood sugar, it might make me want to eat more sweets. So, and from everything I'm learning, it's not a necessity to eat that. But there's health benefits to it. There's no doubt about that. And certain people can eat it, and they should. And if that's what they enjoy, and they can still maintain a decent weight and feel good, then they should. But for me, right now, and not to say that that's not never going to happen, because I may start having a little bit of fruit down the road. And another thing I cut out is most of the vegetables. Now I will eat avocado. It's a very healthy fat, and I do eat that. I try to eat that. And now the other day I ate a can of beans because I didn't feel like cooking. I was tired. So I ate a can of beans, and the next morning I was out of ketosis. Now, I haven't checked it since, but I placed an order. It was right after I moved up here to Walmart, and I ordered some onions and some mushrooms, and I've been eating that with my hamburgers with some garlic in it. Now, I've been staying away from all of that for the most part, but I happened to order that, and oh, it was so delicious. Fry it up with my hamburger. But I'm not sure I'm going to keep even doing that because that might be risky. I was doing better, I think, without having those extra vegetables. So, but we'll see, folks. Now, I didn't lose any weight this week, so that's another reason why I'm thinking, maybe I shouldn't include that stuff. But we'll see if that stays, or I have to see, how I do. I'm just about run out of it, so I'm not going to order it again. So that's what I avoid. Now, what I try to eat is protein, the meat and the eggs. I eat a lot of eggs. I like making those big roasts because I have it. It's easier to make. And I try to stick to that. And of course, I eat the healthy fats. I eat the whole egg, and sometimes I'll have up to 3 eggs at a time. And the yolks of the eggs are very healthy. So I make sure to eat that. Salmon, I buy that salmon from Aldi's, and I'm loving that. I didn't think I would, but I do. Frying it up in butter. And the beef tallow, I started saving when I roast a big chunk of meat. I save that. And when I warm up my meat, I will put spoonfuls of that over my meat with some butter. And oh, I can't tell you how good that is. In fact, I got to get down to Aldi's and get some more of those chuck roasts. Butter, grass-fed. Now, I usually, like 90% of the time, do get the grass-fed butter, the Irish butter, but the last time I had to get something from the dollar store and I didn't have butter in the house, so I ended up getting regular butter. But, when you do things like that, I'm just going along with it, and I got to finish it up, and I have plenty of the grass-fed. I'll eat that. Sometimes I make allowances. I'm not strict on everything. But I try to eat the better butter. And some people can't afford that, and that's okay too. And like I said, the avocado, that's a healthy fat. And of course you have your lard and your ghee, but I don't eat that stuff. I never really did, and I haven't tried it. I might someday. But, okay, let's keep walking. How long have we been walking? 10 minutes. So it's not about being perfect, folks. It's about feeling better. And whatever you eat, pay attention to how it's making you feel. And if it's making you feel bad, bloated or anything, try not to eat it anymore. Or maybe try not to eat as much of it. You know? You wanna have less bloating. Once I start getting bloated after I eat something, I know. Like those beans. Boy, I was bad that day. I thought I was going to have a flare-up of my diverticulitis. So I'm not going to do that again. So you want to have clearer thinking. If food is making you fuzzy-headed or, foggy, then you have to give up that specific food if you want to feel your best. You want to have more energy from the food that you eat. You don't want to be exhausted and tired and having sugar lows. You want to be aware of your joints and make sure you're having less joint pain. You pay attention to your sleeping. And I think I'm doing better up here on the mountain. I did get up early this morning, but I feel rested. 5 o'clock is better than 4 or even 4:30. And you want to pay attention and make sure you're not getting sugar crashes. Now, I used to have my lunch and I couldn't do a thing. Nowadays, I could still keep going. Although that's not to say that I don't get tired sometimes sleeping in my chair. But I'm sitting in my chair. I will sometimes feel like I want to doze off. But I don't usually take naps in the afternoon. And I don't usually fall asleep. But for a few minutes, I feel like I want to. But it's nothing like it used to be. I used to crash terribly. And barely able to get up and get back to the refrigerator, finding something else to eat. It was insane what I used to do when I think back on that now. I couldn't get enough food into me. And I'm sure a lot of you have been through that. Like I said before, I could be eating something, wondering what I'm going to eat next. It's a vicious cycle, folks. That sugar, it messes with your insulin. And it causes those cravings. Oh, I'm sure the campers like that. But you really don't sleep in when you're camping, I don't think. But so pay attention to those things. Now, my diet is mostly about feeling better. It's not about looking like I did when I was 20. I'm older. I wouldn't want to be as skinny as I was when I was 20. I was a string bean. That's not what I'm chasing, though. I'm chasing strength. I want to have the strength to do the things that I like to do, the things that I have to do, keep order in my life, and enjoy my life. And without strength, none of that is easy to do. I'm not going to say it's not possible, but it's certainly not easy to do if you're obese and all you think about is food. So my mobility is so important to me these days because I was losing it. And just the fact that I could walk along this campground is almost a miracle to me. And I'm not hurting right now. And you'll get that benefit too, most of you. I know some of us have worse issues than others, but once you start moving, it gets easier, folks. I guarantee you. Mobility, they say that the first thing to go is your legs. Trying to exercise, do something for your legs, biking, even one of those little things if you have to sit on your chair to keep your legs moving. But that's what I'm looking for. I get out here and making these videos. It's helping me get out here and enjoy the outdoors. And I just love it. And journal your progress. Make videos of your progress, folks. It helps so much. Put it on videos and put it on YouTube. It helps others to see how far you're coming. The clarity, like I always talk about, I always talk about that. I think so much clearer. I still have a ways to go, but that's what I'm chasing. Clarity, mobility, strength, confidence, self-respect. I talked about this, not having self-respect for many, many years and not feeling worthy. Not feeling worthy of anything, folks. So all I wanted to do was eat, and that was it. I tried to present myself like I was a functional member of society, but deep inside I was hurting, physically and emotionally. And that all starts to get better, folks. It's getting better for me. You get to the point that you respect yourself. You respect yourself and you want to be respected. I don't think that's a lot to ask for. I always try to treat people with respect, but I didn't always get it in return. But I'm starting to feel I deserve to be treated with respect. Because I think I'm a good person. Always worried about people too much. A lot of empathy I show for people. I do. I could feel their pain. It's unbelievable how that happens. That's why those tears come to me so easily, because I feel people's pain. And that could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. And sometimes people will take advantage of that. And you can't let them. You can't let that happen. I don't know. Did I have a long walk? I think I did, but this bench is calling my name right here. So I want you to see the houses behind me. Isn't that beautiful? So, freedom. We want our freedom. We're going to see somebody come by in a canoe, a kayak. There he is. We want our freedom from the cravings and from being obsessed by food. We do, folks. I'm loving it. I'm not having the cravings. My joy is coming back, my spirituality. I know I talked about things like this, and I haven't done my lab work yet, but I am striving to get my sugar down so that my lab work looks better. But I have to go to a new doctor and get that done. And I'm kind of putting it off because I'm feeling okay. And when I do go, I want I want to go and I want to have some good numbers. Now, if I start feeling badly or something starts happening, I'll go right away. But I am really honestly trying to put it off a little bit because, like I said, I'd rather see good numbers when I go there. I know what my numbers were last year. My sugar, I'm sure, was going back up. But I told you all a few months ago when I first started that I had my sugar up to 7.9, my A1C, and I got it down to 6.4 on my own. I wasn't on the meds or anything, but I was exercising and everything. And then I went a whole year just not doing much to take care of myself, so I'm sure my sugar was going back up. So I was feeling that my sugar went back up higher than 6.4, but now I haven't taken my numbers, so we'll have to see. Eventually I'll get over there and I'll get some blood work done. But if I'm feeling good, don't fix it if it's not broken. But one day at a time, folks. Just one day at a time is all we could do. So, the clearer thinking and sharper memory. I do remember things a little easier than I did. But, as you get older, even if you're doing the right thing, we are getting older. And I realize that too. So I think we just got to do the best and hope for the best benefits and be thankful for everything we can get. I'm thankful, like I said, just being able to get out here. Thankful for being able to think clearly, for being able to make these videos, for being able to move up to this mountain. My life is changing drastically, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for you. You guys are helping me so much. I tell you that all the time. I'm so thankful for everything. And I feel a lot more confident as the days goes on because I wasn't that confident of a person, folks. I just wasn't. And I feel like I'm getting that back again. And it's because of this diet, this low carb diet, losing the weight, not feeling like I'm a failure. I'm having hope for my future. And I want to keep going in this direction. I let myself go. I did things in my life, folks, that even go far beyond eating too many carbs. I used to smoke. I told you all that I quit smoking quite a few years ago. But I also was one of those that like to party on the weekend. When I was in the Army, stationed in Germany, that's the thing that we did. We'd go out on the weekend and hit the club and Friday night, and then we'd do it again on Saturday. It really became part of my identity. I didn't. I even back then I had an addictive personality. I didn't know how to do. I mean, there were times that like I said, I used to love running in the platoon and everything, but it was when I was stationed in Germany and I'd been there for a while and I got together with friends that that's what they like to do, and I'd done that too down in New York City. That was the thing to do back in those days, the hippie days. Party. And I was one of those people, so I think I could have probably drank less and I would have been better off. But I don't drink anything for years now. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't want to touch any of that. I want my life to be what it was supposed to be from the beginning. I don't want all that, anything that's going to hurt my health and or make me feel bad or bring me down. I don't want any of that. And so I'm trying my best. And that's with this low carb journey, I think is bringing me to a place that I've never been before. I think this low carb journey is helping me so much, along with you guys. And even just remember, even if you are progressing slowly, you're still progressing. That word is still there. You could be progressing very, very slowly, like a pound a month, but you know what? You're still progressed. You have to think of it like that. Now, I'm not losing weight real fast. I'm at the 20-pound mark, but I have a long way to go. Now, my highest weight, folks, was 254, and I am down to 234. And so if you do the math, I still have a long way to go to get to where I want to be. Now, I think 170 is too low for me. I'm not sure, but if I could get to 180, I'd be happy. I'd be happy. So, folks, I really have a long way to go. But each day, I try to head in the right direction. Look at that view. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. I just love it. It's so relaxing out here. But, no, this video's going on a little bit, so I'm going to close it up by saying that this isn't a diet, folks. This is reclaiming our lives. And that is exactly how I feel about it all. This was the last thing I needed to give up, was that addiction to food. And my life is changing because of it. And because of you guys. And of course, because of God. Thank you for being here, folks. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.